Now, fertilization occurs when the neck canal cells and the ventral canal cells, they will disintegrate. I told you, no, they will form a passage or a canal for the entrance of the motile biflagellate sperms or antherozoids. Okay, so these sperms will reach the archegonium by swimming through a film of water on the surface of the gametophyte. Then, another question: how this gametophyte, how this antherozoid, how it knows where this archegonium is? How do you know? So similarly, if you want to meet someone, you will be applying perfume, you'll be dressing well. So similarly, these archegonium will be secreting some sort of chemicals. Okay. So the chemicals that they secrete are these citric acid or salts of the citric acid. Okay. So if you smell a lemon, no, doesn't it smell so sweet? It's so nice and refreshing, right? The smell of lemon, because it has citric acid. So the antherozoids are attracted because of these chemicals, like the citric acid or the salts of citric acid that are present in the canal. Okay. That these citric acid, no, they are released when those neck canal cells, they disintegrate. Okay, because they are the byproduct of disintegration of the canal cells, and they may play a role in the attraction of sperms to the archegonia. So we don't know, we don't know if it really is because of these salts or it is not. Okay, so it's just a theory, maybe not. So eventually the sperm will fertilize the egg, and that on that fertilization we will form the zygote. Okay, now let's look at the embryo. So this embryo, again the cycle will repeat. Remember this plant body or the sporophyte? Which was the ordinary lycopodium, no? That this one. I can't scroll also, it's too much far ahead. Remember that lycopodium, like this? This will give rise to your ordinary lycopodium, which has those cones, the strobilus. No? Okay, so let us look at the embryo. So in the early stages in the development of the zygote, there is a basic plan in all the species. Okay. So in the subterranean gametophyte, the first division of the zygote is transverse to the right angle to the long axis of the archegonium. Okay, here. Okay, first the division is this way, then it will be this way. Okay, and then that way. Okay, first like this, then this way, then this way, then that way. Okay, so the words are complicated, but it's easy if you saw the image, right? The first division is transverse, so this way, that way, no, like this. Then it becomes to the right angle, that way. Okay, the first division of the zygote is transverse, and then it will produce an outer suspensor cell and an inner embryonic cell. Okay, let's look at that. So it produces an outer suspensor cell and an inner embryonic cell. Okay, simple enough. The outer cell, it may or may not enlarge, but it does not undergo further division, and it will become a suspensor. So the outer cell, it will stop dividing, but the lower cell will keep on dividing to perform the multicellular embryo. The embryo in Lycopodium is endoscopic in nature. Endoscopic means it is in depth because remember this was the gametophyte, no? Then these are the archegonium, this is antheridium. This one went there, okay? Then this one, the embryo is down here, no? So means it's inside, okay? Then the embryo will keep on growing. It will produce a shoot apex and it will grow upwards, laterally upward, and the foot develops along the lower side of the embryo. The foot, it behaves like a roots, no, where it absorbs the nutrition from the mother gametophyte. Okay, so what we saw is that first there was this division this way, no? Then this suspensor cell does not divide, but this embryonic cell, it will keep on dividing, okay, to a multi-celled embryo. See, this suspensor, it has remained single cell, okay. This one is those A and B, this one, suspensor cell, it remain the same, but here the embryo keeps on dividing so much. And then you see the new bud is coming out, no? The cotyledon of the leaf. Okay, like remember in school, no, you did seed germination like this, no? Then the radical comes out. This one will become your root, and then the plumule comes out. This will become your leaf and shoots, right? So similarly, here this foot part, the foot will behave like the root, and then this one will behave like the shoot, this cotyledon leaf. Okay. Okay, so the root will come out in between the areas between the first leaf and the foot. So in between this first leaf and this foot, it comes out. The foot will enlarge, and with the help of the foot, the embryo remains embedded in the gametophyte. Okay, because remember, all this is happening inside the gametophyte. This is that top shape structure, no? This is the archegonia, this is the antheridia. It's fertilized, and this is where all the embryo germination happened. Okay, so it's still in depth in what's embedded into the gametophyte. So the foot will act as a hostoria. Remember, I told you like placenta to give the nutrition to the baby. So the foot will act as a hostorial structure until the sporophyte will become independent. It will become mature enough that it does not need any more food from the mother. Okay. Now, if we look at the green one, so we were talking about the subterranean one. If we look at how it develops in the green one, remember the, what is that? Cernum type. The early stages of development is almost the same to the subterranean type, but the foot, but in this case, foot is formed as usual, but instead of shoot apex, a spherical parenchymatous body named as the protocorm is developed. Okay, so in the photosynthetic one, which is aerial, everything is same like subterranean one, but instead of the leaf cotyledon, remember the shoot apex, it will form a protocorm. Okay, and there is no root production but rhizoids. Okay, so if you remember, if you remember the gametophyte, there's no roots. Okay, so there will be no roots, but there will be rhizoids, and there will be leaf-like outgrowths known as the prophylls or protophylls. which come out from the upper surface of the protocorm. So the protocorm will remain in this stage for some time, and a shoot apical meristem becomes organized and a normal type of shoot is produced. Okay. So the protocorm will remain, and finally it will again get a shoot apical meristem, just like the seed germination. No, this is radicle, this is the plumule, then this one will become your shoot apical meristem. Here, just look at the image of the protocorm. Here, these are the prophylls. Okay, here are the rhizoids. Here, this is the sporophyte of the Lycopodium, and there you can see the protocorm of Cernum. Okay. Now the morphological nature of the protocorm. The protocorm is supposed to be undifferentiated sporophytic structure, means no root, no shoot, no stem, and it is the precursor of the sporophyte. Okay, so before the sporophyte comes, it has to behave like a protocorm. So some scientists said that protocorm is to escape unfavorable condition so that it can grow into a proper sporophyte. Okay. Then some scientists say that protocorm is only a modification of its structure so that it can meet certain physiological conditions, like resisting unfavorable conditions, unfavorable season. Now another scientist, Brown, he said that protocorm is just a reduced stem. Okay. Another scientist, Wardlaw, he suggested through some experiments that protocorm depends on genetic factors. Okay, it depends on the genetic factors. He says that if there is more carbon and nitrogen in the soil or in the body of the plant, there will be protocorm formation. Okay, and they will be very much slow in becoming into a sporophyte, because protocorm stays for some time. No. So as soon as the excess reserve food finish and becomes to a normal state, then the sporophyte will start forming. Okay. So what he means is that because there's enough food in the gametophyte mother, this protocorm, it prefers to stay as a protocorm because there is enough food from the mother. There's enough carbon, enough nitrogen in the gametophyte mother, and it can behave like a protocorm. Why become a grown-up? No, why become a sporophyte? Because sporophyte has to do everything on its own. It has to absorb water, photosynthesize, etc. But here, as a protocorm, it can depend on its mother. So as soon as there's no more nutrition in the mother, it has to grow up on its own and behave like a sporophyte. Now some of the importance are that the spores of Clavatum and Cernum are inflammable and used in the manufacture of fireworks. Then some are used as homeopathic medicine. Okay, so homeopathy, they prefer to use Lycopodium a lot. Like when I gave you the introductory video last time, I was telling you, for those with stomach disorders, with menstrual disorders, they always prescribe those Lycopodium tonics. Okay. So with this, the life cycle of Lycopodium is complete. Okay, I will have to send you that diagram, but so far it is complete. Okay, thank you, girls.